So the Golden State Warriors were eliminated last night, and I just want to say we had a good season. We looked good. I think we overachieved, especially with Jimmy going out, and we still managed to snag the 10th seed, even though I think the 11th seed had like 20 something wins, but still. And yeah, I honestly think a few changes need to come. I've made a video like this about the Warriors, but I think now since the season is over and I watched the last game, I think I can kind of give my full opinion on the subject. And first and foremost, I just want to say, hopefully Steve Kerr doesn't leave, because really the assistant coaches that would be elevated, I'm not confident in. But yeah, hopefully Steve Kerr doesn't leave. Hopefully he just coaches one more year. I honestly think that Steph Curry, he said he doesn't want to play till 40. He's 38. Next year is probably going to be his last year. And I think for that, we either need to find a superstar or we need to draft really good and have that player make an immediate impact. But that draft part is really the hardest part of the equation. But yeah, honestly, hope Steve Kerr doesn't leave. Hope Steph stays. And I hope Draymond rejects his player option so he can get a cheaper deal. Hope Al Horford rejects his sorry, not Al Horford. I just hope Draymond Green rejects his player option so we can get a good deal. But yeah, Steve Kerr. First and foremost, I think Steve didn't do the. I'm not gonna say he didn't do the best job. He did what he could with his roster. One of the reasons why we won was because he. I'm not gonna say he helped Guy Santos, but Guy Santos was such an intricate part of every lineup. I'm glad that Steve Kerr played him. I think Guy's a great player. Um, and yeah, I just think Steve Kerr did a good job with what he had. This wasn't like the best roster, but the roster had depth. When Jimmy went down and Steph went down, I think Steve just did the best that he could with his roster. And yeah, hopefully Steve stays because we need him. I think when Steph goes, I think we kind of got to let go of Draymond. I think we can kind of keep Steve to see how he coaches in the post Steph era, but I think we just have to let go of Draymond. But Draymond had a great game. He had a great playing game, or he had a great game against the Clippers. Really great game against the Clippers, the Suns. But yeah, the second major change, I think we need to shake up the front office. I just think we got to get rid of Mike Dunleavy. He really hasn't contributed anything to winning. That Porzingis trade for Kuminga was pretty all right. Porzingis has been pretty decent, or no, Porzingis has been good when he's in. It's just kind of the issue of his availability, and if Porzingis would be available because he does have a sickness, he does have an illness, and that can keep him off the court for sometimes an extended amount of time. And I think with Steph's potential last year, probably last year, going to be next year, I think we need to maximize this roster. And I don't think Mike Dunleavy can do that. I just don't. I think we need to go find another GM or we need to promote a person in the Warriors front office. Also in free agency, I think Draymond should reject his deal. I think he should talk to Steph because Draymond feels like a Warrior for life, but it's kind of like what will he do without Steph? Um, I think we saw that in the 2019-2020 season when Steph was out. He broke his hand. Draymond just didn't look as good. And it's kind of like what will Draymond look at or how will Draymond look? I think it's 35. How will he look at 35 with the Stephless Warriors? So I think when Steph goes, Draymond goes. Like I said, we keep Steve Kerr. We just need to make a big splash in free agency or the trades, whether it be Giannis, Kawhi, or LeBron. I would preferably want Kawhi. Kawhi's a top. He is a top 10 player this year. He played great. He's really like my fourth person. Um, he's my fourth person in the voting for most valuable player, and he's just been great this year. But I just like the Clippers are good, but it's really like up to Adam Silver because he might void his contract because of the trees and stuff. So yeah, I think we should pursue free agency, maybe a trade. But if we do trade for Giannis, we would have to trade like four first rounders and Pods and Jimmy and Draymond. So it's just kind of like that's a lot for Giannis, and he could not commit to us after being traded. So it's kind of like we just traded him for nothing. But yeah, I think we need to make a big splash in free agency. I would say LeBron. LeBron is old. He's just too old. And I don't want to just eat cap space on Steph's last year trying to chase a championship with Steph, LeBron, and Jimmy Butler, and then LeBron just kind of doesn't work or doesn't fit. But yeah, I would love Kawhi. Kawhi is like Kawhi. I wish we drafted Kawhi. Like had Kawhi. Like he's the epitome of a Warriors player. 3D hustle grit. He has finesse in his game too. Like Kawhi is just so great, and the future of Kawhi is questioned too because it's kind of like, will he leave the Clippers if his contract is voided? Will he sign a short term deal and retire because of his knees? We honestly don't know, but I would love Kawhi in the Warriors. I would love Kawhi in the Warriors. But yeah, I think those are the moves we need to make. We had a good season overall. I wouldn't say great. It was a good season. We had expectations, but those expectations were kind of pushed out the window when Jimmy went down and when Moses Moody went down. I think if we had Moses Moody, we win the Phoenix game. But yeah, hopefully we have a good season next season. We're not making the playoffs, so we're gonna get a lottery pick, which is good. If I had to pick the perfect prospect, I would say Yaxel Lindenberg. I would, I would honestly want Yaxel Lindenberg. A lot of people are saying Darius Acuff. Darius Acuff can't defend a fart. He just can't defend. And if to be in the Warrior system, you have to defend. Yaxel is a great defender. He can block, he's a great defender. He can guard on the perimeter and he can guard. He can guard on the perimeter and the low block. I think that's what we need. We do need some more like bigs. I think Yaxel at the 4 would be great, like a backup 4. Spark off the bench, defense off the bench. That would just be great. But yeah, those are my needs for the Warriors this season. Again, we had a great season. I'm looking forward to next year. Hopefully, it isn't Steph's last year, but I have a feeling it's probably going to be Steph's last year. Also, side note, it's probably going to be LeBron's last year too, just because the Lakers just don't look as good. He's aging, and I feel like he just doesn't want to play basketball for much longer. But yeah, it's my Warriors video. Thank you for watching.